Hey, can we confirm that we've got good voiceover commentary coming out on the live stream? Confirm that we've got good voiceover commentary. Alright, so my apologies about that if there was any bleed over. This is always the problem when live streaming, particularly on a console. When I'm on PC, it's not as big a deal because there's plenty of lay down room on my workstation desk, but you're on a console, not so much. I will also warn you tonight that I am very congested, so I apologize for sniffling in your ear in advance. So hey, what's up everybody? This is Gasically Stainless from GearWorks.com, the E2KG podcasting channel, E2KG Network podcasting channel on YouTube. Here was another episode of the Replication Anecdotes on a late night live stream. Not getting things started too entirely late. I don't know who was really sitting around on pins and needles for an exact 11 p.m. start. If you were, let me know, because I can definitely adjust some things. I figured nobody would really show up until I put the announcement out on Twitter and Facebook anyway. So, right now, I've got a couple things going on. So I have 2 time trials in my campaign path, which I'm not a super huge fan of. And then there's 1 race, so I'm going to deliberately kind of punish myself and try and start with... No. Okay, good. One thing I really like about this game... What? One thing I really like about this game is that, Glide Nabbit. This racing game is one that brings you up to the race start or event start screen, but does not force the start. It lets you manually drive that. I just gotta set my Galaxy Tab A here to, not set this screen to standby until I tell it to. Well, it's on a 30-minute timer, which isn't great. I would prefer to have the iPad's, ability to never turn off, but... Okay, so we're here tonight playing a little bit of Wipeout Omega Collection, and since it's the first event, it's going to take me a while to get settled into a groove here. So this is a craft that I just got access to. I have this time trial on a track that is fairly narrow. This craft is highly maneuverable, not as fast as some of the other ones, so I'm hoping that it allows me to stay in the groove a bit and avoid getting hung up on the sides here. I don't necessarily know that hitting every single speed marker, I'm probably hitting a speed marker or 2 less than I need to, but the problem is when you hit the speed markers, you get speed is too high in the turns, you get hung up on the sides, and that decreases your time. I think I've got to make, so I've got to make 230 here. So far failed to do so. So welcome to another episode of the Replication Anecdotes. I'm rounding off Infinity. The Replication Anecdotes is my branding for any of my live streams and Let's Plays, game captures, featuring gameplay where I'm driving, piloting, or otherwise operating some kind of vehicle. I would say that it's my simulation category, but I know that there are some people who get really hung up on the genre specification of what constitutes a sim. But because I'm not going to have, 24 different titles and brands for my different videos, I think it would be ridiculous to parse things into that degree of subgenre. So just use the replication analytics for anything that is sim or sim-like. So that includes action, flight games like Ace Combat, which I would agree is definitely not a flight sim. But it also includes true flight sims like Digital Combat Simulator or IL-46 Sturmovik. Yeah, I'm not going to make it. In fact, you're particularly slow, really. I made it in 2:34 this morning.
Race complete.
2:36. So I think what I'm going to do to not get hung up on this, I think I'm just going to go ahead and play the race. No. Oh, yeah, it is the race.
Five-star fighter.
Something going on Twitter, apparently. That's our compatriots over at Scene and Nerd involved in a conversation with people asking about Cloak and Dagger. We also recorded our Cloak and Dagger discussion podcast last night. It's actually, well, it's already uploaded. It's currently being processed right now. Taking a long time because of my penchant for recording things in 4K when it's absolutely unnecessary. 32 gigabyte podcasting file, but hey, storage on YouTube is free, so it is what it is. If I didn't mention it already tonight, I am extremely congested, so I apologize for that, but I was out in the yard all day yesterday. The entire house smells like grass from me having mowed the lawn after it rained for a week solid here. So my allergies are going to be sucking for the next week or so. Or longer, because I actually have more yard work to do. So, Wipeout Omega Collection is a game that came out last summer, June of 2017. It's actually the first game in the franchise. It's the 10th game in the franchise overall. First game in the franchise not done by the original studio, Studio Liverpool, since that studio shut down in 2012, unfortunately. Whoa. Direct fire weapon. My biggest problem is,
Mines.
What? What is that I have now? Whoa. Rat cannons. Ooh. Man, I am not seeing this nighttime track at all. I am in 8 of 8. Whew. Idea. Not getting into a groove. Not getting into a groove at all. Ugh. Now this is the thing about Wipeout is oh, did I actually get him? Ah! Yeah, Wipeout is definitely a grindy game. It's one, for me, that's, it's tough to ever nail a track the first time on it, versus, some other driving games, or some driving games that Well, first of all, I'm hyper familiar with the...
New lap record. Final lap.
So many set mines, or do I have mines? The problem with mines is that we're requiring me to be ahead of people, which seems to be problematic right now.
Mines.
That's definitely somebody setting mines. But I'm not hyper-focusing on hitting these speed pads. I'm having a hard enough time just sticking on the track without the additional speed. Now again, I've spent my most time... Well, this is sucking. I spent my most time in the Wipeout series on the PlayStation Portable version. Okay. Have to run that back.
Eighth place.
Ugh. Let's race that again. So like I said, I've spent my most time with this franchise on the PlayStation Portable. It was kind of one of the staple games.
Mines.
Now, something I have forgotten is I don't know how these guys are hitting.
Mines.
Shield active. Shield.
And Wipeout is just one of those games that, you know, to quote Jack Burton, right? From Big Trouble in Little China, Jack Burton's big thing was he never drives faster than he can see. That is not permitted in this game. I am definitely frequently driving faster than I can see. What I require is some familiarity with this track to compensate for how dark it is here at night.
Shield active. Turbo.
I have no idea what shield active turbo means. It appears. Ooh. Oh, I picked up. Okay, I picked up turbo. Oh man, how does bomb work? Oh, it shoots behind you.
Bomb.
I don't need any rearward firing weapons. I'm in last. Well, that's very narrow.
Mines.
Okay, no.
New lap record. Final lap.
Love the music in Wipeout Omega Collection. I'm hoping that my video gets to stay up. I forgot that I don't hit the bomb. So, again, there are tactics and strategies that I need to regain familiarity with, and one of those is when you have a rearward firing weapon and you can't use it because you're in last, maybe just go ahead and drop it. Chance that somebody will hit it when they come back around on their lap. Of course, this is the final lap, so had I remembered that earlier, that would be better. This is so narrow up here. I hit these multi-speed boosts.
Race complete.
Man. This might be 2 hours live streaming and losing. Might be the way it goes down.
Seventh place.
No, I didn't mean to return to grid. So I'm going to try something that I used to try on Android that I could never get to work. Now, one of my issues with Android, and it's something that iOS actually does better, is when you go to YouTube, you can get to the desktop version, so I can actually look at my control panel, which is something you cannot do on Android when you go to it. Okay, so this is different. It used to be when you would go to Android on Chrome, it would always take you to the app. There was no other way around it. It used to be so aggravating. Because what I really want to be able to monitor is my stream health. So let's see. If I can actually get here into my control panel from Chrome. Yeah, let's go to that desktop view. Sure, I will allow your notifications. I never understood why it seems to have me. Yeah, okay. Had me in a different profile. Okay, great. And nice, and it didn't auto start the video, because I never want the video running, I just want to be able to see the chat. Alright. Oh man, that's so much better. Finally being able to see the control panel. Alright, so I'm a little stuck. This is one of these points where getting through the progression model requires a lot of grinding. I don't know. Do I have pilot assist turned on? I'm gonna have to go back and check that. So let's go ahead and run down the hardware that's in play tonight. So one of the things I've been doing, if you've watched any of the live streams or the game captures in the month of August, and there's actually been a fair number for this to still be the first 6 days of the month. You know, one of the shticks of rounding off Infinity is that, from my perspective, one of the things I try to do, or the service that I try and provide, is I try and review all the game capture cards and microphones and headsets, cables, special devices, whatever. I try and review all the hardware and gear that you might want to use as a streamer. As well as for people who do game captures and pre-record that stuff and post it. So... and then I try to do the same with the services, right? So rather than try and build a singular large community on Mixer or Twitch, my followership kind of suffers because I don't stick to any one service because I'm constantly rotating amongst them and evaluating them as far as what works well and what doesn't on each. Man, I just need to hit. There we go. Come on. Still in last.
Mines.
Man, there's just a lot going on this track. Durable. find a decent straightaway to launch that. So does that really work? No, don't disengage autopilot! Alright. Bad for him. I could just get ahead of somebody. Oh, I couldn't hold it. Okay, so did I at least not come in last?
5th place.
Was that the minimum required to pass? Oh, I did actually pass the event. It was a 5th place finish required. Okay, well that's progress. That's... again, Wipeout has historically just been this big grind, right? You have to, you know, play and get by, and then get access to better vehicles, and then go back and then do events all over again. If you're not the kind of player where that grind is attractive, then this is not going to be the game for you. I think racing game fans, sim fans, tend to be a little more accustomed to that kind of system. Maybe find that a little bit more accessible. Okay, so it's pushing me on to the next event. I am definitely going to stick with the race-type events. And try and unlock some more vehicles before I bother trying to go back. Twitter quite busy on a Monday night.
Five-hour speed.
So again, sorry, let me try and get back to talking about the hardware that's involved in getting the live stream out tonight. So for a game capture device, for a video capture device, I'm using the AverMedia Live Gamer Portable Plus 2. This is a second iteration of a capture card that AverMedia put out last year, which is really oriented around being highly portable and able for you to pack along with you to live stream from a laptop, but it works very well in desktop configurations as well. And in this use case, equally so for use on a full-size console. The big thing that they added with the second iteration of the Portable Plus is the ability to do 4K pass-through. So even though I'm not on a 4K device tonight, I'm playing on my OG PlayStation 4, but I am connected to a 4K TV. There are some enhancements that were enabled in software for the PlayStation 4 OG. I'd have to go back and look those up. It's been a while since I looked at them. It's not 4K capable, obviously, but I think they may have added some. Maybe they did add HDR, since HDR can be added by software. Unfortunately, that is one thing that the Portable Plus 2 does not pass-throughs. It doesn't pass through HDR, which I didn't know before I bought it. Now, later this week, I'm going to receive the AverMedia Live Gamer Extreme 2 GC551. You've probably seen videos of mine that I have up on the channel where I'm utilizing the Live Gamer Extreme OG, the GC550. The GC551 is kind of the last video game capture card, relevant card that's on the market that I haven't had the chance to play with. So that will kind of complete my entire survey of what's available in the streaming market. I don't have an Elgato right now. I had an HD60. I got rid of it. Probably regret that a little bit. I have not used the HD60S. Come on. Latin at it. Did he? The force is strong with this one. Okay, so I think green weapons are the rearward facing ones. Yep. I was trying to see if you could throw them forward like you can in Blur. Which is just a great game mechanic that I'm a huge fan of, is they basically let you...
Rockets.
Okay, so... Whoa, plaid. Actually got him.
Cannon.
Ooh, somebody shooting cannons at me. And do I have...
Cannon.
There we go. Now, when I've noticed when I hit them, it seems like it doesn't... I'm not... Yeah. Oh, got any... Oh. How in the world am I in first? We're getting into a new groove now?
Cannon.
Or is it maybe that I'm not trying to run down the extremely technical specs of my live stream setup, and so I'm actually able to pay better attention? No, 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 no. Boost! Visually, this game is remarkable. I think it looks incredibly beautiful. That's one thing that you can always say about racing games, is they tend to be the prettiest looking games on a console. One of the prettiest. We're back in first, I'm back in first. Nice! From barely scraping by, getting into fifth to winning a race. Gotta like that. Now, this is a game that's available in VR. I don't have a PlayStation VR headset, but I do have a Windows Mixed Reality headset that I utilize in the series The Artificial Capers, which is the VR series on Rounding Off Infinity with my good friend Greylock3491. We typically record on Sundays, but unfortunately we're missing a couple weeks because Petchy and I got behind recording the It's Another Thing podcast, which we were covering Cloak and Dagger, and because Cloak and Dagger had done its season finale and we wanted to get that recorded and posted, I had to do that Sunday night instead of doing Gray and I's VR series. So this is another race, 2 time trials. What is this thing over here? Is this... Huh. Let me go ahead and do the race, and then I'll do the combat thing.
Five-star fighter.
I've really always liked the vehicle unlock ladder. Left, right, left, right. left, right, left, or right, left, right when in the air to execute a barrel roll. Now I think you can, there used to be a way to put that on a hotkey so you could just single tap the barrel roll. I'm gonna have to give that a try. So for a webcam tonight, I'm using the Panasonic HTC HS80. Now you do, the cool thing about doing the barrel roll is I believe you get additional boost from that. So that would be the reason to try and pull off that high-risk maneuver. An eighth and suck in it. Ooh. One wall scrape. You're catching up, and now you are not. Did I just not choose a very... I get, from race to race, I'm struggling a bit to understand how I'm, like, super competitive and... Oh, okay. Ah.
New lap record.
Stuff popping off. The Panasonic HS80 is a HD camcorder. Whoa. Now the way I am using that as a webcam is I'm piping it. You monkey! Is I'm piping it through the Blackmagic Design web presenter. It's a very expensive piece of studio equipment. About a year ago, it was the only thing that was really available on the market that could do such a thing, which is take high-end video cameras and make them look like a camcorder to PCs. Having that flexibility in the studio has been a choice over the last year. Ooh. You gotta make a choice. You gotta make a choice when you come around on that. And I hesitated and did not decide. Oh, I'm hung up on it. Come on, get off. I don't have enough. Yeah, this is lap 3. There's no way I'm gonna. Yeah, this is the one that you missed because the pattern changes. Ah, that's horrible. That was probably your one opportunity. Seriously? Still a pretty fun race. You got a nice variety of weapons there at the end. Ugh. So like I said, hold on. Alright. Cool, we can pause it. So the thing that the Blackmagic Web Presenter does is it takes any HDMI input from anything and presents it to a PC as a webcam, which means when you use OBS, you can always pick that up as a video capture device and configure it and use it in your scene, overlay, config, however you so choose. Okay, good. Pilot assist is off. It was one of my concerns was that that thing was on and interfering with how I wanted to drive the vehicle, pilot the vehicle. For voiceover commentary tonight, I am using a U-mic, lapel mic. One of the things I really like about the AverMedia Live Gamer Portable Plus 2 is that it has 3.5mm jacks on the front panel that allow you to connect a headset or headphones and a microphone. I should also mention the AverMedia Live Gamer Portable Plus 2. One of the other really great things about it is its versatility and flexibility. It can be used both with a PC for live streams or game captures. It can also be utilized in a standalone mode so that you don't have to be dependent on PC at all, and it will record to a micro SD card. So I have a high-speed micro SD card that mounts in the back. $128GB micro SD. It can then also be set in storage mode, so you can just access that onboard storage.
Rockets.
And it will show up as I don't know. Ooh, okay. It's like I don't know what that weapon is. That was a good one. Oh, does that give you a little boost when you fire those? One of these days, I'm gonna figure out that that's where the S-curve is different. It looks like there's a way to brake left. Also through that set of chicanes, which I need to figure that out as well. It's close. Very close. I lucked out. I held on to the speed brake. Not a great exchange there, but it could have been worse. Did I say mines? No cannon. I really particularly like that riff. It sounded very much like an alarm. I was like, is that the game? Yeah, so that's everybody's cutting over at that point.
Missile.
And I'm betting that there's a...
Cannon.
Whew! There are not enough rear firing. You punk, there's not enough rear firing weapons on this.
Race complete.
How'd we wind up there?
6th place.
I was as high as 4th. Aggravating. And for headphones tonight, what I'm doing is so when you live stream and you want to use headphones, which you should always do anytime you're using an open air mic. So anytime you're live streaming and not on a headset and using some type of mic that, in this case, clips to your shirt or sits on the desk in front of you, you should put that sound in a pair of headphones so that it doesn't bleed over into the mic. Now, if you do have a headset, a lot of headsets, the microphone is directional, so it will only pick up sound coming from your mouth. And you could opt, in that case, to let the sound out into the open air. Sometimes that's necessary when there's not a good way of getting the sound where you might want it because of a particular setup or a device limitation. Oh, I picked up one of them. I was like, no. Thanks a lot for giving me the base. Whew. Yes, you can fire your cannon, but I have shield active. No, of course I don't.
Rockets, mines, mines.
Whew. Alright, so I'm waiting to come around on a straightaway where I can pull off turbo. I don't think you're going to get it, because I think you're going to be in these chicanes on the underpass for quite some time. So when you use headphones and you're live streaming, and you're using a game capture device, the game capture device needs the audio feed from the game machine. So I have to send the audio from the PlayStation 4 into the AverMedia Live Gamer Portable Plus 2. Now, and that's why I say I really like how the Portable Plus 2 has front panel 3.5mm connections, because I can, if I want to plug headphones in, I can just do that to that front panel and get my audio feed that way. Blast, and I wasted that round. Which just makes things easier.
Missile. Rockets.
But in the case when you're using a device that doesn't have the 3.5mm audio pass-through, you have to go get the audio from the other end of the sound chain on the output side so that you don't break into the audio chain in between the gaming device and the capture device, right? So normally that means you're going to have to go get sound from... Whew.
Missile.
Somebody tried to heat me. Are we in third? Did we get a podium finish? No. Would help if you hit the continue button to see the stat screen. Yes! There we go. So that's going to sometimes require you to do some gymnastics in order to get audio out of the output side of your display. You know, when live streaming or doing a game capture from on PC, then it's sometimes a problem because monitors, or PC monitors, are the worst for doing audio output. As far as a headphone connection, I have 3 LG monitors, and every single one of them creates a bunch of, like, the 3.5mm audio output jack on the back is not properly electrically isolated, and it causes a huge static problem whenever I connect headphones. so I have to virtualize the sound channels on PC when I have to set up headphones in that configuration, but that's a topic for a different stream, sometime when I'm streaming PC. So this is a combat. So now I have like 3 combat events available. Score 25 points, score 50, okay. Don't I have... So I like the unlock and the progression model in Wipeout, but the way this grid is, that can sometimes leave you forgetting that you have other vehicles available.
AG system speed.
Now, I don't know, man, I don't remember, so I've reconfigured this controller, I don't remember what I have flip set to. So what I'm doing to get audio into headphones out of the back of this TV is it only has, this is a Samsung 4K TV, it only has audio as an optical out from the back panel. So what I bought was I bought a media converter that takes that optical output and converts it to a 3.5mm jack output. Yeah, this is pretty crazy. Now the problem.
Plasma. Contender eliminated. Contender eliminated. Leech beam. Missile. Leech beam. Missile.
Yeah. Ooh, no. That's a look behind. Whoa.
Plasma.
I still have cannon.
Cannon. Missile. Contender eliminated.
Wow.
Leech beam.
This is just complete chaos.
Missile. Rockets.
So the problem with these combat events is you could be eliminated from this event, so
Mines.
whereas generally in a regular race event there's not enough weapons and opportunity for you to actually be taken out.
Rockets. Leech beam.
As you can see, my hull integrity is down to 33%.
Missile. Contender eliminated. Mines. Leech beam. Contender eliminated.
Oh, okay, so elimination is not permanent.
Rockets.
I'm missing some weapon markers here.
Mines. Contender eliminated. Contender eliminated.
Oh no, I have not scored. Ah.
Cannon.
Plasma is a really... Okay, alright, so I passed the event.
Rockets.
Kind of all I'm really concerned about.
Mines.
I think Leech Beam is the best way to recharge your hull integrity. What do I have? Oh. There's some kind of weird
Contender eliminated.
rocket thingy.
Mines. Plasma.
Well, that weapon went nowhere.
Missile. Mines.
Yeah. That was just chaotic.
Pass. 6th place.
Ugh. Alright, so that's one that we will come back and do. And so the headphones that I'm actually wearing, coming out of the media converter, are the Plantronics Rig Flex. A lot of combat events. I don't like time trials. Those are my least favorite event. So we're going to be breaking the stream here in a little bit. I've been going for about an hour. And I was originally going to do 30-minute sessions. I like breaking the streams up just to have separate files. And I know some viewers have said, you know, what they like best is when the stream is something they can sit down if they're going to watch the archive version because they can't stay up this late or get up as early as I do for my 4 a.m. live streams on Monday mornings this month. That they like it when the stream is 30 to 45 minutes, so they can sit down and watch it like over their lunch period. So this is probably going to be the last event, and then I'm going to take a break and come back for the second and final session for the day. Dummy.
Contender eliminated.
Now, just for... No, that's view. That is not what you wanted to do. Now square.
Plasma, missile, cannon, missile.
I thought... Yeah, that plasma weapon has always been weird. I've never really mastered.
Bomb.
Nice ears are ringing. Okay, so that does,
Missile. Plasma.
nah, that's a, oh, come on.
Cannon, missile, rockets. Contender
Wow.
eliminated.
Okay.
Missile, rockets. Bomb. Contender eliminated. Missile.
Oh, did I eliminate somebody?
Contender eliminated.
Yep. There we go. Now I can get my hull integrity back.
Energy critical.
Really?
Rockets. Missile. Missile.
Oh, bad. Made that choice too late.
Contender eliminated. Bomb. Leech beam.
Oh, I've been throwing leech beaming me.
Eliminated. Bomb.
I don't know how to flip. I don't know how to flip.
Cannon.
And I missed the weapon icon. Here we go.
Rockets.
Okay. Hate it when you miss. There's two icons,
Rockets.
and you miss both. I will say, and this is one of the reasons I love Wipeout.
Plasma. Contender eliminated.
I may not be winning a lot of these matches. I've not scored a pass yet.
Leech beam. Plasma. Cannon.
I really, you have to play that again.
8th place.
Good. All right, well, look, that's going to do it for me for this session. Once again, my name has been Against famous from GearWorks.com and the E2KG Network podcasting channel on YouTube. This has been another episode of the Replication Anecdotes. And we'll be spooling up for a second session here in just a few moments. Just gonna get the head, sip a little bit of coffee, check the tech setup, and verify that everything went fine for the last live stream. And then I will be back on here momentarily. So probably give me maybe 10 minutes to reset. So thanks again so much for joining in. That's going to do it for me for this session. I am out of here. Actually got him.
Cannon.
Ooh, somebody